Well, hello, fellow YouTubers. Welcome to another episode of G-Tech. I thought we'd talk about our last episode, the one on the Carver C500. If you remember, we had discrepancies between the schematic and what actually I saw. Well, I laid awake the night that I posted that video, and I think I came up with a conclusion that makes a little bit of sense. So I want to talk about that on this episode. Let's get into it. First, I thought it was odd that the schematic shows 8 output transistors per channel and my Carver C500 only has 6. If you take a look at the Phase Linear 400 Series 2, it has 6 output transistors. Initially, if you watched my last video, I took this as an error in the schematic. Take note of discrepancy in the schematic. It shows that there are 4 output transistors when in reality there are only 3. Second, upon inspection of the control boards, they are identical except for the input op amps. My Phase Linear 400 Series 2 has the CAN style op amps, while the C500 in question has the 8-pin DIP ICs. Even though they are not marked accordingly, I recognize these boards as PL36 boards. The C500 schematic shows a different control board. Also in my video, I noted that the speaker wiring diagram in the C500 did not follow what the instructions showed for connecting an oscilloscope. The side of my C500 does not reflect the floating ground for the phase inversion on the right channel, and the description and the instructions show the left and right channel colors are reversed for left and right according to the wiring diagram. Indeed, the diagram on both amplifiers are identical, as you can plainly see. On the schematic, these potentiometers are labeled RP1 1K for both the left and the right channel. However, R9 and R41 are the only potentiometers on the control board of the amplifier, so they are not hard to find. In that video, even the part numbers for the bias pots showed a discrepancy. Even though I state such in that video, I basically overlooked this fact, as I mentioned that there are only 2 pots on the control board to set bias, one for the left channel and one for the right. When you take a look at the schematics for the C500 and the PL400 Series 2, even though the control board is a little different on the C500, basically it is the same amplifier as the PL400 Series 2, except it has an extra transistor on each side of the power supply rail, 8 total per channel compared to 6 total for the 400 Series 2. The conclusion? Someone took a C500 faceplate and VU meters and put it on a Phase Linear 400 Series 2 chassis. This amplifier is indeed a fake Carver C500. I should have figured this out before starting work on this amplifier instead of after the fact. I just assumed the chassis was a C500. Well, you know that famous saying. Needless to say, I am very disappointed as I have all the Phase Linear Series 2 amplifier models and would have liked to add a Carver C500 to my collection as it closely resembles and is designed like a Phase Linear Series 2. So again, I believe that somebody took a Carver C500 faceplate and VU meters and put them on the body of a Phase Linear 400 Series 2. So that kind of would explain it. That's not the end of that, though. We will be upgrading that amplifier and getting it back up to speed, even though it is technically a Phase Linear 400. So that being said, that'll wrap it up for this episode. In my next episode, we're going to be getting into the repair of my Phase Linear 400 Series 2. And yes, it indeed is genuine. So we look forward to the next episode and hope to see you there.